What's up, guys? It's Men's TV bringing back 900 thoughts from the dome to your phone. Listen, you have to get comfortable with being alone, bro. You have to get so comfortable with being alone. I think in these moments when you're alone is when you really find that self-awareness. You start to realize certain things and, things ain't so up in your face. Your friends ain't in your face. Activities, you get time to yourself. And as you get time to yourself, you start to realize certain things. Certain things that were so hidden before start to come out of the shadows and start to come to light. Know what I mean? Something that you might have forgotten about a few days ago might come back and surface to your memory. Or just a certain way that you're living may not resonate with you anymore. I think in those moments, it's natural for us to change, want better for ourselves, really start to live in a way that we deem worthy for ourselves. But make no mistake, just because you're going through that, just because you're changing, just because you're elevating, just because you're turning into a better version of yourself, doesn't mean other people are too. And at the same time as saying that, those people could be very close to you. Those people could be very close to you. The ones that aren't elevating, the ones that aren't getting to a certain trajectory could be the ones that you call your close friends. So then we run into a problem. Run into a problem because you're elevating, you're turning greater, you're doing best by yourself, you're having good habits and, well done for you, but it doesn't mean everyone's on that. It doesn't mean everyone's on the same path as you. Not everyone has the same timeline as you. And if you're like one of the first ones to really grow and really turn like into a black sheep of the friend group, bro, all eyes are gonna be on you. All eyes are gonna be on you. And people are gonna be looking at you funny. People are gonna be uncomfortable by you because you're not the same you. You're not the same you. But at the same time, you're turning into a better version of yourself. And while people are not turning to a better version of themselves and turning... Man, there's a whole wasp here. While people aren't turning into a better version of themselves and downgrading, not doing stuff for their life and you're doing stuff for your life, they're going to be uncomfortable. Your self-improvement is going to be offensive to them because you're in the same age bracket. You're on the same type of lifestyle. You come from the same area. How come you get to change yourself but they can't? You know what I mean? Because you actually have that ambition. You have that focus. You have that drive. But other people don't. That's why they get uncomfortable. You make them insecure that way. But with that being said, I say it's important in those moments to really choose you. Don't have so much empathy. I think in those times we have a lot of empathy and we think we need to, substitute ourselves for the betterment of our friends so they can feel good about themselves. No, keep elevating and keep becoming better. A friend ain't supposed to make you feel down about elevating, bro. A friend ain't supposed to make you feel down about becoming a better version of yourself, leaving stuff in the past and really moving forward. A friend ain't supposed to make you feel weird about getting a job, about, leaving crime behind, leaving a legal lifestyle behind. People that do are manipulative and they want you to be in the same position. They want you to be still. They want you to live the same lifestyle for years on years on years. But how is that? How does that get you to where you're meant to be? How does that get our families out the hood? How does that get yourself out the hood? How does that create generational wealth? It doesn't. So if these friends ain't on the same type of mindset, the same type of timetable, they gotta go, bro. Especially if you're trying to get them on the same type of goal. But some people are ignorant. And their ignorant makes it so they can keep living in their same way. Because while they're being ignorant, they can't face their own insecurities. They can't face their own hardships. They can't face their own battles. They can't do better by themselves. They're living a comfortable lifestyle. But your ignorance has faded away. Don't mean everyone else has, but yours has. And I'm just saying, bro, it's up to you whether you want to take that by the throat or push it away. But I think it's important for you to really take that and move forward with it. Don't worry about how people are viewing you. Don't worry about how people are saying, you changed and stuff. Man, yeah, I've changed. I've changed into a better version of myself. That's how you need to look at it. I remember when I stopped hanging around my friends back in first year college, we used to smoke every day. We used to talk to girls every day. We used to just talk about bullshit, nothing like self-improving. And one day, I was really just reflecting. I was looking at all of us while we were smoking. And I passed the spliff onto my boy. And I was thinking, what are we actually doing with our lives, bro? What are we actually doing? And while I had that moment of like observation and reflection, that's when it snapped. I'm not me no more. I'm not living by my own right. I'm not living by my own destiny. I was falling further and further away from the life that I was supposed to attain. You know, all the goals I wanted to aspire, I was falling further and further away from it. And the people that were influencing me were my own friends and like people I deem as family. And when I brought that up to man, they didn't like that because, bro, they were still ignorant to that. So when I brought it up to them, it gave them no choice but to look that in the mirror too. So, you know, I had to distance, bro, and I got a lot of backlash for that. And you can be like, okay, I don't want to be lonely though. Like, these are my boys, these are my brethrens, bro. But where are you gonna get being around these, man? That's what I want to ask you. Where are you gonna, bro? There's a whole fly. Where are you going to get being around people that ain't elevating with you? Cause your energy is here and your energy is going up, while their energy is steeping down or staying at like the same level. And while you're going up, their energy is gonna be pulling against yours and making yours fall down. You know, and it can ruin your potential, bro. It can make you fall down into a miserable pit. And while that's happening, you gain that resentment towards people as well. And we don't want that. What type of friendship is that? I remember I told my brethrens, oh, there's a whole nother train. See, they don't want me to give you guys this game. I remember I told them it ain't no hard feelings. It's just I want to be better for myself. I don't want to, you know, do these actions that you guys are indulging yourself into. And they took it as disrespect. They took it as me insulting them, when really I was just telling them how I wanted to live my life. And thankfully I took that choice. Nah, I mean, I took that step. And I kept elevating, and that's how I am today. But I'll tell you, the person I was a couple of years ago when I was hanging around those people, completely different person, bro. I used to be so unambitious. And I don't blame it fully on them, but it was a big part of it. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like at a certain point, you gotta look at your friends, look at the people around you. And if you're not influenced to do better by the people around you, bro, it's time to separate yourself from that. And I feel like when you're actually trying to become better, you're trying to create a better life for yourself, the universe will give you people that are on the same type of timing. If not, influences, you know, content that will surround you, media that will surround you, that will inspire you and make you want to do better. But while you're consuming all that negative energy from people, all them bad habits, you're going to be in the same place, bro. I'm telling you that for free. You can't have one or the other. You got to choose. You got to make a choice. Am I going to, you know, live a lifestyle that I want to live? Or am I going to keep myself bound and keep living the life that other people want me to live? That's the choice that you need to make for yourself. And if you can't make that choice, you're going to be in a tough spot. You're going to keep being tossed and turned, keep being pulled either way. You got to make that choice for yourself. Know what I mean? Choose today. And both choices come with sacrifices. Don't think there's an easy way out of this. Both choices come with their hardships. Both choices come with their hardships, but that's the fun of it. You get to make that choice. You get to be like, how do I want to live my life? Am I going to keep living these bad habits just because my friends deem it as acceptable and I want to be liked by my friends? Or am I going to, you know, move forward? I know what's right. God has shown me what's right. This universe has shown me what's right, and move forward with that. You know what I mean? One thing I like about the Quran and like about the Islamic faith is that you don't get sinned until you know that it's a sin. So I could eat pork right now. If I don't know that pork is haram, that's not a sin to me. Only when I know that it's a sin. And I think that's a metaphor for life. You know, you can keep living like a bad lifestyle, living like a lifestyle that's morally bad, going with bad habits. And, you know, you can give yourself grace because you didn't know that it was a bad thing until something showed you that was a bad thing. But once you know that it's a bad thing, it's a bad habit, and you keep living in that, that's dangerous, bro. You know, and I think that's why the universe shows you in subtle ways. And I think the universe was showing it to me through my friends, bro. Nah, man. Literally that. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful, bro. I'm so thankful that the universe showed me, because now I'm not ignorant no more. I know right from wrong. If you're scared of things going south with that, with you choosing yourself, with you choosing your life, with you choosing how you want to live your thing, just remember that you'll only feel that regret if you don't put the work in. So it's time to stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. Stop telling yourself, I can't do this, I can't do that, because my friends, because my finances, because of this and that. Get to work, bro. Make those friends look at you in the future and be like, oh, I should have been on the same type of time and he's on. That's why being ambitious, being focused, determined, all these things, don't do them if you're not with that type of energy. If you're not really down for yourself, if you're not going to work and strive for something greater. You can't do it. You can't do it, bro. You have to choose one or the other. You have to choose one or the other. You have to choose a life of total focus, uncomfortability, moving forwards, or you got to choose a life that is soft, a life that indulges in pleasure. I think with philosophy, they were talking about that. I saw a video. It was about the lotus flower. You know, there was a time where people were just indulging in pleasure because of this flower. They would eat this lotus flower, and when they'd eat the flower, they'd be indulged in pleasure. They'd be indulged in so much feelings of pleasure. Everything would be calm. There would be no troubles in their life, but there was troubles in their life. It's just the flower would make it seem like there's not. So self-improvement went out the window. People didn't achieve anything for a long time. And the people who didn't take that flower could really see that from afar. The people that didn't take that flower are the ones that move forward in life. So many metaphors, bro, but you just gotta be open-minded, open your eyes to it. I say this because I care about you, not because I'm trying to attack no one. You know, I'm not trying to attack even the friends that are holding you back, because they don't know any better. And it's not their time to really know that they don't know any better. You know, people get their little shine at different points in time. You can level up right now. For your friends, it could take years for them to really level up. But your story and their story is separate. Don't feel like you got this relationship with your brethren, or you got a bond with them where like you gotta move at the same pace. If they ain't on the same thing that you're on, move forward, bro. Move forward. Don't hold yourself back for none.